Hi, I'm Counsellor Asher Craig. I'm the Deputy Mayor and the Cabinet Lead for Children, Education and Equalities. We won't have an environment that my children can inherit or their grandchildren if we don't reverse the trends that have basically set the climate on a collision course to, it sounds a bit too tough, a kind of annihilation, but that is what we are facing. And we are seeing the effects of climate as we speak. We're seeing fires raging, we are seeing famine at an alarming rate in the global south. It is our duty, each and every one of us, to do what we can to save this planet and do what we can to reach our goals around zero carbon emission. It is all up to us individually to do what we can, because it all has a knock-on effect. But I also see myself, particularly as a leader and as a black woman, to also spread the knowledge and communicate with the wider city and with wider citizens about what they can do individually and personally around addressing the climate emergency. Black women have been playing a key role in environmentalism since we've been raising the issue of the impact of climate change. We have had women from across the African diaspora who have been pleading with world governments for decades now, and their pleas fell on deaf ears. Black leaders, black women have been in this space forever, walking their talk, and I'm seeing even more new emerging leaders, both black and white, in this space, particularly from the global south, who are articulating really well the impact that the climate change is having on their countries. At the end of the day, it's about making sure that we have the tools and the knowledge, and those of us who are in those spaces and places where we have networks. I am constantly sharing information on my social media platforms, and when I get the opportunity to speak at different events, either locally, nationally, and even internationally, I always use it as an opportunity to always touch on climate, because climate affects everybody, whether it's children, education, housing, you name it. Climate impacts us all. But I think fundamentally it's about making sure that we're equipping black women and the black community that are disproportionately impacted by climate. You need to walk your talk. I'm not interested in all the platitudes that they are making. They need to follow up with real, solid actions. As we say here in the city, young people make up 25% of the city, but they're 100% our future. And it's the same thing in terms of even young Black, Asian and minority ethnic young people here in the city. So we have to do everything we possibly can to secure their future and make sure that they are not going to suffer the consequences of our poor decision making. We already know that the green movement, the green environmental agenda, it's not necessarily hijacked, but we're not hearing all of the voices. Even at COP26 this week, over the next couple of weeks, and because of the COVID pandemic, they've made it extremely difficult for the voices from the global south to have their voices heard. People need to search their hearts. You need to kind of search your soul and really think. Put aside the greed, put aside the money, okay? Take the money, but put it to really good use. Make homes that are sustainable, create a transport network and environment that is sustainable, the livable neighborhoods, livable cities, all of these other initiatives that we're also trying to do here in our city. We're trying to play our part, and global leaders need to play their part too. And actually, they need to be the key drivers for all of this, but never forget that we are the cities who do the implementation, so they need to also listen to city leaders, which they have failed to do so far. Here in Bristol, our administration is walking our talk. We were the first city to declare a climate emergency, an ecological emergency, and everybody followed suit. Because we have a caring leader, he has gone out of his way, as I said before, to engage globally on issues of migration, because again, we pride ourselves as a city of sanctuary. So again, we are seeing the results of climate happening, and we're a welcoming city, so we can do what we can to help those who are being displaced. I think the message is for global leaders. Walk your talk. No time for waffly words. We want to see real action, and we need to also see the finances behind that action.